Hey, Space Watchers, and welcome back to another Space Nugget where we comment on the news of the week. Today is Friday, July 12th. Europe is back in space. These are the headlines you have probably read this week. Europe's heavy launcher Ariane 6 made its successful maiden flight. Fully successfully? We will come back to that later. I attended the launch event in Berlin at the Bremen State Representation, and we had tropical weather of Kourou on Tuesday evening.
Achtung, letztes Countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7,
Allumage de SR,
5,
décollage.
4, 3, 2,
You can't expect Germans to be more excited than that. Maybe if we had made it to the half finals of the European Cup, we could have been more excited, but alas, it did not happen. Back to the launch. Ariane 6 is the legacy of Ariane 5. It represents a collaborative European effort. Over 50% contribution comes from France, more than 20% from Germany, almost 10% from Italy, and the rest from other European countries. The launch happened after 4 years of delay with costs that exceeded the planning. However, it is a guarantee that Europe will have independent access to space. If you like to hear more about the history of Ariane and the way forward, please listen to the latest Space Cafe Radio with Rüdiger Albert. Back to the launch. Milestones of this maiden flight were the separation of the boosters at 2 minutes and 14 seconds, the separation of the upper stage at 7:41, the first firing of the Vinci engine thereafter, and obviously the cruising in space. The maiden flight also carried different payloads, including CubeSats from Spain, Portugal, US, UK, France, Poland, and Germany. Here you see the release of the satellites at T plus 65 minutes and the response of the involved teams. Two payloads were test capsules for re-entry tests by Ariane Group and the exploration company. This is important because at the moment Europe does not have re-entry capacity. These capsules were planned to be released after the upper stage fired its engine for the third time, once back to Earth. However, the third reignition of the Vinci engine did not happen as expected. As far as we know, it did not happen at all. The result of this failure is that the 7.5-ton upper stage will not come back to Earth and will cruise as massive space debris around Earth's orbits. I tried to get an official statement today from ESA on how the defunct hardware and the recently signed zero debris charter can coexist, but so far we have not received an answer. What we know is that the upper stage was decompressed, as that is standard procedure to avoid an explosion in space. However, Okapi Orbits released a LinkedIn post saying, considering the worst-case solar cycles, the re-entry is expected to happen not earlier than in 2051. That's 27 years. Even in the best-case scenario, the upper stage will remain for 12 years in orbit. That is not so good for all the space debris debates. However, it is important to point out that it was a demo flight, and it was a successful one. 90% success, as ESA pointed out. We congratulate ESA, CNES, and NASA, Ariane Group, DLR, and all contributing partners for bringing Europe back into space. Next step for Ariane 6 is the first commercial flight forecasted for December this year. Let's hope they will stick to their schedule. Let me finish with a take from a very happy passenger of that first flight, Nadine Smolka from ExoLaunch.
Hi everyone, I'm Nadine from ExoLaunch, and we just saw the Ariane 6 first flight ever, and we from ExoLaunch had our hardware on that flight. We're thrilled that everything went more perfectly than we could ever imagine, and very, very well done to all the teams that have worked so hard to achieve this first flight.
This is what we like to see. Space excitement, emotions, and pride made in Europe. Don't forget to sign up for our weekly newsletter. Happy weekend and Space Watch out.